Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Richardson, and I'm the WCPW. Hey! Cut that shit out right now! Put it down! Now I don't give a shit if you are 6 years old and in a wheelchair. When this camera's running, you shut your fucking mouth, you understand me? Oh, don't start crying. Don't fucking start crying. Hey, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Kick the shit out of him, yeah. Alright, and yes, this is the WCPW Pro Wrestling World Cup quarterfinals review, and oh, what an incredible event! Seriously, all 4 matches across the board were epic. Now seriously, to all the haters out there that like to run their mouth, tell me just one WWE event, whether if it's a house show, a TV episode, or a pay-per-view that can boast the same thing, that every match across the board was excellent. No, go ahead. I'll wait. Yeah, you don't have shit. You don't have shit. This Battleground wants to... No, fuck you. No, there's not one. Every match, all 4 matches tonight was incredible. Or last night, I should say, was incredible. Oh, loved it. Let's get into it, shall we? The very first Pro Wrestling World Cup quarterfinal match was Penta L0M going up against Ricochet. And yes, Penta's great. Don't get me wrong, I love Penta. But this is probably my favorite match that he's been in since he's been in WCPW. And I really think Ricochet took him to the limits, like absolutely. Right off the bat, Ricochet hit, because Ricochet does a lot of crazy stuff. I've never seen it. Once again, I'm sure everybody who's watched his other stuff seen it, but first time I see it here in WCPW, where Penta's like on the ground and he jumps, like springboards and does like a springboard, like somersault knee drop onto the guy. I was like, oh my god, like I haven't seen that yet. It was freaking awesome. However, it was kind of heavy Ricochet early on, but then Penta just takes over and starts dominating throughout the entire match pretty much. At one point, powerbombing him. Goes for a powerbomb and then throws his knee out there and like catches like Ricochet in the neck on his knee. I was like, holy shit. No, that was pretty brutal. The next brutal moment, and I was really shocked. I mean, it was kind of a scary looking bump. Like it's one of those things you shouldn't take very often. He gives him the fear factor on the apron, and I've seen it once before. I forget. Maybe I've been to Mexican qualifier. I'm not for sure, or maybe one of the iPay-per-views. But I've seen Penta do it once before, and even then I was like, ugh, I don't want to see him do that too often. Here he hits Ricochet with it. I'm like, son of a bitch. I can't forget about it. Ricochet's done, and that's a great thing. Like Ricochet was my pick to go on to the to the semifinals. But this match was so back and forth. I was like, why not? Like, seriously, it could be Penta's night. But he throws him back into the ring and wasn't able to get it. Like, Ricochet kicked out. The ending, which I've seen a lot of people on Twitter upset about, which I thought the ending was really good. Penta goes for the Mexican surfboard. He's got him up there. And then what he does is he kind of brings him down a little bit and he gets him like a rear chin lock, still in a Mexican surfboard. And then, as he's doing that, he slides him down just enough so now he's pinning him. However, both men's shoulders are on the ground. Referee goes 1, 2, and then right before 3, Ricochet just bridges up. 3, Penta pins himself, and Ricochet moves on to the next round. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people just like, weak ending. I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Like I said, I did not see it coming. And yeah, I mean, once again, that's how you make Penta lose and look awesome. Because I mean, he was just dominating that match. So yeah, Ricochet moves on to the semifinals. The next match is another Pro Wrestling World Cup qualifying. Sorry, I keep saying qualifying. Quarterfinal. They're both Qs. I'm sorry, it's Q. Quarterfinal match is between Hiromu Takahashi and Joseph Connors. And once again, my pick through this match was supposed to be Joe Coffey. However, he's already been dethroned. But since Connors is here, I'm definitely rooting for him. This is kind of funny. I was rooting for Joseph Connors early on, but mid-match, the tide turned for me, and I was actually hoping Takahashi would win. There's a lot of people online, and it's funny because no one knows how this is going to play out in the end. Of course, I guess spoiler alert: Connors wins the match. There's a group of people I'm noticing there was just like, well, the only reason Connors was the only reason WWE would agree to let Connors compete in the tournament is so that he can win it. And I'm thinking, I don't think that's it. I really don't. However, I'm thinking to myself, if WWE granted him, the weekend, or I guess the week, all 3 days, you're going to use Connors all 3 days. So, I mean, I kind of figured Connors was going on to the semifinals regardless. Now, whether he'll, move on beyond that. And I think even if he did win, that's not a bad thing. I mean, people are just like, you know, he's WWE, he's an outsider. Well, you know, he's great. I mean, he's a great wrestler, former WCPW champion. Like, that's not a bad thing, guys. It really isn't. Don't get me wrong, I don't want him to win. I got my own, I guess, my secondary pick. I'll get to fucking that later. But he's, you know, he's a great competitor. He's one of my favorites. I mean, period, hands down. So, but anyways, so you know, before they start things off, we get a lot of Daryl interaction early on. Daryl gets a massive chant, like a bigger chant than like any of them put together. They love Daryl. I want to see him in the tournament next year. Like, we need to have a parts unknown tournament, just where it's just random people from, well, parts unknown, and Daryl's got to be from there, right? I mean, he's not from Jersey. He's not from, you know, Cambodia. He's not from Japan. I'm telling you now, Daryl's from parts unknown, so we need a parts unknown leg next year at the World Cup Finals. Anyways, so once we get past the whole Daryl goofiness, we get to some serious action. Takahashi, like, literally brings it. And once again, the entire match, or the first half of the match, I was like, Connor, you know. And then, midway through, I'm just like, Takahashi, like, I want to see him go. And I was like, you know what, I knew Connor was going to win it. But part of me is just like, man, if Takahashi pulls this off, that'd be freaking epic. The whole match was pretty much Takahashi working over Connor's knee. And however, he just can't put him away. Hits him with a time bomb, and of course, it's still nothing. And at one point, Takahashi gets frustrated, and he goes for the figure four, and Connors hooks him in with a small package. 1, 2, 3. Joseph Connors wins, moves on to the semifinals. And like I said, I'm down. Up next, match of the night, Pro Wrestling World Cup quarterfinal match. Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay. Holy shit. Oh, dude, they both brought it. Oh, it was just insane. Dude, Bailey. Like, I love the fact that because Ospreay, what about Ospreay in this match was, and I think this was better than his Mysterio match. I think the match by itself, this across the board, was better than his encounter with Mysterio, which was epic as well. Like, that's the thing. Like, don't take it the wrong way, because I thought Mysterio, Ospreay, that was the match of the night when I watched it. It was awesome. 5 stars, 6 stars, all the stars in the sky. Give it to this one. Topped it. Like, that was what's so crazy. It was like, this match actually topped that. But to me, I loved Ospreay in this match because the past couple matches, when he fought Marty Scurll at Stacked, and when he fought Mysterio, it's just like he's going for like this babyface thing. Like, he's just like, I'm a clean-cut good guy now, and I don't like clean-cut Ospreay. I like cocky Ospreay. If you're a good guy or babyface, you're doing babyface things, but you have that cockiness with you, that's fine. And he had it here. You just see the little mannerisms, how he would just kind of taunt Mike Bailey when he had him down, and of course, you know, he just, you know, push him in the face with his foot and shit. I love that. But Bailey, on the other hand, dude, it brought out the aggression in him. Like, I have not seen the mean side of Mike Bailey yet since he's been competing in WCPW. And boy, he brought it last night. Not only that, dude, but dude, you know, he's a black belt and whatever. And dude, he was just going kung fu karate all over Ospreay. It was brutal. However, you know, early on, Ospreay does kind of get the upper hand and kind of takes control until, you know, Bailey gets it. He ends up hitting a standing moonsault knee drop thing, or was, it don't matter. He did a flippy shit knee drop, and it was just like, oh, and that was a turning point right there. At one point, though, Ospreay hits a springboard Pele kick, which I thought was really good. Dude, the kicks from Bailey, you could just hear them echo. Like, seriously, it was brutal. And at one point, I was like, man, just pull back a little. No, he was just full force kicking the shit out of Ospreay. However, in the end, Oscutter ends it. Will Ospreay moves on, and I had him. That was right now. We're at the semifinals as I speak. Out of the 4 guys, I had 2, and they're facing each other. So yeah, Ospreay and Ricochet was the 2 that I picked to move on, and yeah, and he got it. I'm not gonna lie though, watching this, I was like, it made sense to have Ospreay win it. Once again, we're pushing for this Hendry feud possibly. He just, you know, recently turned babyface. After, you know, the heroics he had in the War Machine Swords of Essex match, you know, he just, you know, could have easily just threw in the towel, took a count-out loss. I mean, he could have done anything, and he didn't. He went in there, took the machine on, you know, face first, head first, just went right toward it, and got his ass handed to him. But guess what? Heart of a warrior. And then, of course, you know, turning down the offer for the Prestige, and standing up against them, and then of course that emotional match he showed against Rey Mysterio. So I mean, it feels right to have Ospreay move on here. However, in the ring, Bayley was his equal tonight, man. Like, seriously, it could have gone either way. It really could have. And yeah, match of the night. Match of the night. That's all there is to it. And it's time for the main event. Pro Wrestling World Cup quarterfinal match. Kushida versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack was my boy. I had him going all the way. Early on, even. I didn't make the official pick, but when I watched the English qualifiers, I was like, Zack. I want Zack. I want Zack all the way. I'm sure no one else is going to pop up that I'm going to want. It's him. And then sure enough, we get the final 16, and I'm just like, yep, Zack's my pick. He's going to go all the way, baby, all the way. Now, one thing I want to say about this match going into it, and I'm going to rewatch this probably next week sometime, because I felt drained after watching Speedball and the Aerial Assassin. Like, that match, I had nothing left. I had nothing left in my tank. I know I'm just a tubby fucker watching on the computer, but guess what? I was just like, I'm all out of gasp and cheers and, I'm out of, like, I literally, the first half of this match, I just wasn't quite in the zone. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Like, I was so just exhausted from watching that first match, or that, the previous match, that it kind of took the life out of me. But even then, I was just like, well, Sabre's got it. But then it clicked in my head, and as I'm looking at my brackets, and I'm like, okay, Ricochet is representing USA, but Connors and Ospreay are representing England. They are not going to have three people represent England in the Final Four. The Final Four, you ain't going to have, 75% of that all British. You ain't going to have it. It just ain't going to happen. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I was like, no, I'll keep the faith. Sabre can do this. And don't get me wrong, they put on a technical masterpiece. One of my favorite parts of this was when Zack Sabre came off top ropes and Kushida catches him with an armbar. And that's kind of the opposite because, Zack Sabre's the one always catching people coming off, and he snatched him there. The dude, he caught him with that, and I was like, oh, shit. This one, I mean, they threw everything they had at each other. And to the point where, like, Sabre, who's normally quick with recovery, and, like, when you get the guy down, he's on him. Here, going really slow toward the end. Like, they were taking it all out of each other. To the point where, Zack Sabre, just being the technical wizard that he is, was just resorting to slugging it out. Like, they're just in the middle of the ring just throwing punches. Toward the end came when they're both on top rope, and of course Kushida's going for that hoverboard lock, or the Kimura lock. I like hoverboard lock, sounds awesome. And he goes for a suplex like he did to Travis Banks the night before. Didn't look as brutal as when Banks took it, or not the night before, I'm sorry, they fought stacked, but didn't look as brutal then as it did then. But it still looked pretty goddamn brutal. But he suplexes him with it. Oh no, it was night before. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling here. Yeah, Kushida fought Banks in the round 16. It's been a long week, guys. It's been a long week of reviews. So, anyways, he hits him with that suplex, and then they're rolling around like he's trying his damnedest to get out of the hoverboard lock, and Kushida's trying to get in there, and they're just rolling. And eventually, Sabre gets out, and Kushida goes, and it was almost like a victory roll, and he just rolls him over. 1, 2, 3, and of course Sabre's immediately back up. If there was 4 counts, he would have been up, but guess what? There's no 4 counts in wrestling. 1, 2, 3, Sabre is out. My pick, gone. I mortgaged all of this. Like I put it up. I'm betting it on Sabre. They're coming tonight to take everything. Next time you see the video, I'll be doing it like on the streets. Like, thanks Sabre. Thanks a lot. I don't even have kids yet, but their tuition, gone. Just gone. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, Kushida's awesome. I mean, he was the better man tonight. He was the better man, and looking forward to him and Connors in the semis. But Zack, he should have won it. He should have freaking won it. I'm blaming Connors because I feel like if Connors didn't return, they would be like, it's okay to have 2 English guys in the semifinals. And then he comes back and they're like, we can still have 2 in there. It's just going to be Connors and Ospreay. Sabre, heartbroken. But no, overall, the night was just incredible. And I think that was a smart move because whenever when I watched it, I think I also looked at the runtime. I caught it afterwards, and it was like an hour and 55 minutes, and I was like, oh, weren't there going to be some bonus matches in there or something like that? No, the whole thing was just dedicated to these 4 matches, and it was perfect because it gave each match room to breathe. I love that. The way it should be. So yeah, perfect. best round so far. I know I keep saying like each round I get to it, I'm like, it's best round so far. It really is the best round so far, and I'm sure it's gonna keep getting topped each fucking time. So yeah, that sets it up now. It's Kushida against Connors and Ricochet versus Ospreay, which I'm really looking forward to in the semis. So there it is, guys. Let me know. Hey, how your brackets are doing. If you know, am I doing one? You know, this only has 2 with my main pick out. Anybody else have Sabre out there and now you're just heartbroken like I am? Let me know. Oh, excuse me. I'm professional as hell. Yeah. In the comment section down below. And of course, let me know what you guys thought about the event in whole. And yeah, that's all I got. Share and subscribe if you haven't already. Show this video that thumb and love. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that goofy shit's down there. Check it out. Give it a thumbs up. Follow me. Whatever the fuck each one asks you to do, just do it. And yeah, that's all I got. So nothing tonight, or I guess Saturday, except for the semifinals and finals. But then my review will be up Sunday, along with the top 10. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Won't be able to watch the semifinals and finals tomorrow. Like every time I think I got like a day open where I can watch one of these, something pops up. Can't push it aside, so I gotta wait till later on that night. So I'm staying away from my fucking phone the entire time because I don't want like a random like, oh, this guy won, yeah. I'm like, fuck. So staying away from my phone. So you guys are gonna get a hold of me. Like, it ain't gonna happen. But yeah, tomorrow night. So it's all I got, guys. Seriously, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.